What is the right amount of protein?
Bare minimum requirement is 0.8 grams per kg of body weight.
Plant protein versus animal protein. What does Ayurveda say?
Ayurveda believes plant-based protein is more superior than animal-based protein. Animal-based protein comes in scenario when you need much larger amount of protein, but it is a myth.
Have you ever seen kidney issues with somebody who takes protein powders?
What quantity of protein powder you are taking, what brand you are preferring, because so many brands are there. They have multiple things other than protein.
What do you say about eggs? Like if somebody has to have that animal protein, if it's a pitta body type which has a strong digestive fire, when should they have eggs?
First thing, only boiled. Rather than you are cooking it in other form, you are adding oil or lots of spices.
What about the suitability to your body type? Can you define, Vata, Pitta, Kapha?
First thing, you have to take some coolant herbs or spices with your meal. Secondly, your timing should be
Protein is the golden word in the health and fitness industry in this day and age. From building your muscle to developing your bones and getting you the right weight loss goals, protein is that one thing that every influencer and every gym enthusiast is talking about. But do we really know how to take our protein? Does Ayurveda really say something about protein intake? Today, I have joining me Dr. Saloni Garg, a Maharshi Vaidya, who's going to be telling us what the right way to take protein is, whether you even need to take protein in a certain quantity, whether your body type is able to digest that protein, and what does Ayurveda really recommend about protein intake. Welcome, Dr. Saloni.
thank you.
So before you and I started this podcast, we had this very interesting conversation because we were discussing about whether Ayurveda has really said anything about protein or not.
Not actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ayurveda never mentioned protein as a term and the quantity of protein a person requires.
Okay.
So, but our meal as per Ayurveda, the Vedic diet, it has protein in it. Like we have lentils. Ayurveda recommends we should have a bowl of lentils or like mung beans and all. Whole millets, whole grains, Ayurveda prefers. Green leafy vegetables, Ayurveda prefers. So, all these things combinedly can give you protein. Unknowingly, we are taking every day. But as such, the term protein intake should be this much amount. It is not mentioned in Ayurveda.
What is the right amount of protein?
So, what studies show that for an individual, everyone, no condition, no bar, normal minimum requirement is 0.8 grams per kg of body weight.
Okay.
Suppose a person is there and he or she is not doing anything, sedentary lifestyle, sitting jobs, not doing any workout, maybe weekly they do workout. So the bare minimum requirement is 0.8 grams per kg of body weight. Suppose my weight is 60 kg. And if I multiply 60 kgs with 0.8, it is somewhat around 48 to 50 grams. So this is the requirement of protein per day.
Per day. Okay. But you saying that will vary according to what your activity level is as well.
Multiple factors are there.
Okay.
Your age, your gender, whether you are having any illness, what is your health condition, obviously weight, and activity level is very big factor because suppose I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting whole day and eating my meals, no workout is there. So obviously my protein requirement will be very less.
Okay.
But there is a person who is very enthusiastic for his gym, he is doing muscle build-up and want to lose weight, calorie deficient diet hai, that person will obviously require more of protein. Because while doing workout, breakdown भी बहुत हो रहा है, right? और muscle build-up के लिए protein चाहिए. Protein is the building block. So we need protein for that. Obviously, health activity matters.
Yeah. Tell me the difference between men and women. Do their needs differ?
Suppose there is a female of 60 kgs weight and she requires a protein amount of 48 to 50 grams in a day. Same height and weight male will require a bit of more, like 5 to 10 grams more protein per day as compared to a female of same height and weight.
And is there an Ayurvedic reason behind that?
More muscle is there in male body. Females generally have more fat deposit. So this thing is the reason. Not a major reason.
Okay.
Only just
And also this also changes when the female is going through pregnancy
Yes.
or she's going through different cycles.
Yeah.
Then also it changes.
Yeah, if she's in pregnancy, then the amount of protein is more required. If she's lactating, obviously the protein content should be more.
So tell me more about this, because you said that automatically the diet that Ayurveda recommends, that includes, your lentils, probably millets, or, whatever grains have a good amount of protein. But in the olden days, of course, people never calculated protein calories or, whatever. They were just living a very good, healthy life, I suppose. So how did that happen? Because today people are more concerned and more stressful about protein. Is it more essential than other nutrients in a way?
It is essential, very essential, because as I said earlier, proteins are building blocks, and in our body every day multiple cells are dying and new cells are regenerated. So protein is a requirement, and with time, as you said earlier, people used to eat a very wholesome diet. घी होता था डाइट में, the dairy products होते थे, green leafy vegetables were there, even lentils, whole grains, millets, everything was there. But today, because of lack of cooking skills, lack of time, and people becoming very choosy, so there is very limited source of protein. And also a marketing gimmick is there that we have to sell protein. So that created a hype that we need protein, we need outside source. Though we can complete it from a kitchen only using plant-based materials which we already eat, that is sufficient.
Fine, I got that, the people were taking proteins from different sources rather than just, making it concentrated in a protein powder or all of this. Coming back to this point, which is quite controversial, plant protein versus animal protein. What does Ayurveda say?
Ayurveda believes plant-based protein is more superior than animal-based protein, and there are multiple reasons for this. First of all, you need to know whether your body requires protein or not, whether your body is capable to digest and metabolize that protein, whether your body is absorbing that much protein, what is your body type, what is the status of your Agni, what is your dosha type, then only you can go for protein. And then comes the question, animal-based or plant-based. So, animal-based protein comes in a scenario when you need much larger amount of protein, but it is a myth. Plant-based protein can also provide same amount of needs for your body which we are taking from animal-based. And the reason why animal-based is not recommended, first of all, non-veg food is considered rajasic and tamasic in nature. So whenever we will consume non-veg diet, it will cause heaviness. It will cause all the negative factors in our body.
All the negative
Heaviness.
tendencies.
Yeah, negative
like
tendencies.
your mind also becomes
it
dull
works on
and lethargic.
physical health also and on mental health also. So what happens? It will cause heaviness in your abdomen. It will not get digested easily, and also it will cause bloating. It will cause laziness, lethargy, fatigue, constipation, and because of these, your mental health is also not good. Suppose your gut health is not good, so you will not be able to focus. There will be fatigue, generalized weakness. So all these things are just because you ate animal-based protein. So everyone cannot digest animal-based protein.
But a lot of people will contend that constipation or bloating or ये सारे issues तो vegetarians में भी बहुत होते हैं.
Yeah.
So what is your answer to them?
Vegetarians में होते हैं, but there are very much chances कि आप उसको ठीक कर सकते हो. मतलब आप अपनी कुछ छोटे छोटे चेंजेस से उसको ठीक कर सकते हो, बट एनिमल वाले में चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा हैं. और एक और चीज़ है, एनिमल बेस्ड प्रोटीन हर प्रकृति का इंसान नहीं ले सकता है, बट प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोटीन, दो इट ऑल्सो कॉजेज ब्लोटिंग एंड इंडाइजेशन, बट वी कैन करेक्ट इट यूजिंग सम हर्ब्स. You doing some small changes in your meals, we can correct it.
But you're saying if animal protein is not applicable for everyone, who is it applicable
Majorly
for?
pitta type of people, because they already have a good agni, their digestive fire is good, so there are chances that they digest it well, but they need something cooling in their meals, because already high pitta is there, digestive fire is strong, and animal based protein more or less increases pitta in your body. So you need something cooling with that.
Along with it. So if you're boiling chicken, you need to have like coriander and more cooling
some herbs
spices
you should
with it.
add in that. Also, you can take coconut water regularly with that. You can use saunf, elaichi, these kind of herbs. These helps. Like you can use mint. You can drink some cooling drink after your meals. Like you can drink sattu chach type of drink. You can mix that thing. These are the things which helps, but vata type of people and kapha especially, for these two type of people, animal protein is very bad if you are taking. It is very difficult to digest. You want to achieve a result, but you are developing different disease with that result. That is not good.
Yeah.
So it is better to choose an option which will fulfill your demand, plus it will not cause any other illness.
Do you also include eggs as an animal-based protein?
Yeah.
So, because a lot of people take that as a breakfast, which is, something very, very bad for the system, as far as I understand
Yeah.
Ayurveda. What do you say about eggs? Like, if somebody has to have that animal protein, if it's a pitta body type which has a strong digestive fire, when should they have eggs?
They can have eggs first thing only boiled, rather than you are cooking. Rather than you are cooking it in other form, you are adding oil or any other lots of spices. It's better to take boiled egg. Also, in breakfast, yes, you can take, but I won't recommend, because Ayurveda never says to eat eggs
As a breakfast item.
as a breakfast, and also as a only source of protein. You have multiple things. You can switch this.
So you would say that try it and switch to something
Yeah.
else. What are some things that you've noticed in your patients who do take animal-based protein? What are some other issues that are separate from vegetarians?
Nowadays, what happens? Every young person is very freak, like very fitness freak. They want to go to gym every day. They want to build up muscle. And one thing that comes to mind is they need protein. And only source of protein, the majorly which is known, is animal based. And secondly is the protein powders available in the market. Both of those things are not good for your health until and unless you know your body. So if you don't know your body, you don't know the condition of your liver, you don't know about your digestion, then don't go for that. If you are going, there are some patients who unknowingly started taking protein powders or chicken on every day. Like every meal, one meal is chicken. So
Wow.
those people are developing diseases, like their liver is not tolerating all these things. Liver is getting damaged. Secondly, उनका अग्नि उस हिसाब से नहीं था.
Agni is a digestive fire.
Yeah, the digestive fire was not that much. It was low, and the food is not getting digested. It leads to formation of toxins. Armor production हो रहा है, and that again is blocking the channels. And that channel blocked अगर हो गया है, there will be no absorption. Right? If you're taking something, you're eating something, digestion के बाद उसका absorption होना जरूरी है body में. But if there is no absorption of the nutrients, then what is the need of taking that food?
So you're saying that these people come with a lot of toxins in their body,
Lots of toxins,
liver issues.
liver issues with physical appearance में भी दिखेगा, and in mental health also we can see a person who is taking plant-based protein. If we compare it to a person taking animal-based protein, there's a difference. The plant-based one will be highly energetic, active, energetic, enthusiastic. But then a person with animal-based protein is more or less very lethargic, dull. He will sound dull. He will be lazy in doing things. हर टाइम वो एक सुस्ती बनी रहना, वो एक बहुत कॉमन
So
फैक्टर हमने
fatigue is
देखा
quite
है.
common in them, and along with liver issues.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen kidney issues with somebody who takes protein powders?
Depends what quantity of protein powder you are taking, what brand you are preferring, because so many brands are there. They have multiple things other than protein. Like they are micronutrients. In the name of micronutrients, they are adding so many things. Obviously, they will affect your kidney.
But what makes protein digestible? You talked about that आपकी Agni, your digestive fire is not working, then protein will not be digested. Is there any specific cooking method that makes it digestible?
Yeah, first thing is, जब भी आपको protein start करना है, suppose you are starting a journey, you are going for workout and you need a source of protein. First thing is, consult a Vaidya, know your body type, know the dosha pattern, know whether you are having toxins in your body or not. According to an Ayurvedic Vaidya, you can get a body detox. Then you can start a protein diet. And how you can switch to a better version is the way of cooking. The way you cook your meals affects the metabolism and absorption of the protein.
Okay.
Suppose one person is there and he's making curry of any dal. Suppose moong dal, lentil form में वो cook कर रहे हैं. So one person is there, he's adding lots of spices and lots of oils and everything. Obviously, that will give lots of calories also, and it will be difficult to digest. But there is one person who is boiling the lentil, then adding a spoon of ghee, cow ghee, and adding hing, jeera or ajwain. That person will obviously feel better. Uska digestion better hoga. He will digest it quickly. It is lighter in nature. So it will get absorbed easily. There will be no toxin formation. So cooking matters. What type of spices you are using, that matters. And what is the combination of meals you are taking, that also matters.
So, what are some herbs that you recommend? I know you said cumin and ginger probably help in
Yeah.
digestion. What are some herbs that non-vegetarian, people can take along with their animal-based protein?
First thing is ginger, as I said, dry ginger, shunthi या सौंठ जिसको हम बोलते हैं. धनिया is very good because it
Okay.
is cooling in
Cooling.
nature. And सौंफ वो भी बहुत अच्छी है. इलायची बहुत अच्छी है. Cardamom powder is good. Cinnamon powder is good. And mint is very good. They can have something, they can add mint leaves in their curry or whatever. Otherwise, they can make some drinks using mint leaves. And also they can take chach along with that because that is also very good for your digestion, for your gut health. It increases the good bacteria of your gut that therefore helps in digestion and metabolism. So these are the things. Also, they can add ghee in their curries, or if they are taking any chapati, whole grain meal, if they are taking, they can add cow ghee. That also helps.
So, adding all of this will make it more digestible. What about the suitability to your body type? Can you define, vata, pitta, kapha? How do I decide what protein is for me?
So if your body type is more of pitta type, so again, though your digestive fire is good, but you have to take some coolants with your meals.
Okay.
Spices which are cool in nature, that would be good. And also you have to be concerned about the quantity of meals you are taking and the timing of your meals, because already your digestive fire is very high. And suppose your lunch time is 1 o'clock and you are taking meals post that. So that fire will consume your energy, consume your dhatus. So first thing, you have to take some coolant herbs or spices with your meal. Secondly, your timing should be accurate.
Okay, so a pitta person should not skip their meals. They should have it at the right time.
Yeah.
Because the high pitta time is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you have to have your lunch early.
Yeah. They should not break that cycle of their meals, because digestive fire will lit. You have a body rhythm, and that digestive fire, because already it is very strong, it will consume all your dhatus. So it is better to take meal at that time and along with some cooling herbs.
Yeah. So for those who are trying to build their muscle, having their meals at the right time, if you're a pitta individual, is quite important.
Yeah.
All right. What about kapha people?
With kapha people, their digestive fire is very low. Their metabolism is very poor. So for those, I would suggest don't go for animal-based protein.
At all.
Yes.
Okay.
Choose plant-based protein, that also in moderate quantity, and also they can consume in very short intervals again and again. Small quantity but multiple times they can consume. Like they can consume whole grains, legumes, or different kind of grains in the form of chapati or chila, or they can make a khichdi of different grains. And nuts and seeds are very good for those people. They can take that. These are the major things they can do. And
I
one
think they
thing
also need more stimulating spices as compared to
compared to
vata and,
vata and pitta, because
people.
already the digestive fire is low, so they can add different spices in their meals to enhance their agni.
Okay.
First thing is ghee. Ghee is a very good source.
Yeah.
First thing is ghee. Second is they can add garam masala, a bit of garam masala in their
Yeah.
meals. They can add cinnamon. That also helps. Multiple spices are there they can add in their meals that helps to digest it.
I think kapha people are the ones who are the most tolerant to spicy food. Is that true?
Not tolerant, but they can take not much. I
Not
won't
much.
suggest spicy food for any Prakriti
Okay.
people. Yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention, in pitta type of people, one thing they have to remember always is that if they are taking nuts and seeds, those should be soaked, because already high pitta and nuts and seeds are very good source of heat. So I would suggest that they should pre-soak them and then they should consume them.
Okay, so nuts and seed pre-soaked.
Yeah.
Now that you're bringing up that concept of nuts and seeds, because you did mention it's a great source of protein. Number one question, nuts and seeds are quite heavy to digest. And people who regularly take like bowls of nuts and seeds every day, they end up with some or the other digestive issues. Number two, right time to eat nuts and seeds is very important in Ayurveda. So if you can elaborate on these two concepts, it'll be great.
So first thing is nuts and seeds should be taken early in the morning. That is the best time.
Okay.
Like at the time of your breakfast or before breakfast. Secondly, best way is to soak them before night. Just soak them and early morning you can take. Third thing is the quantity matters. You don't have to take a full bowl. You can take in smaller quantity in the morning, like 4 badam and you can take pista, 2 or 3. 1 walnut is sufficient. In this quantity, you can take, obviously. And if we talk about seeds, like half a tablespoon of flax seeds, half a tablespoon of chia seeds, and pumpkin seeds are also good.
Yeah.
You can take half a tablespoon. And also, you can do one thing. These are good in the morning. Like if you're taking any breakfast, you can add in your meals. Suppose if you forget, take it with your meal rather than consuming like a snack. Take it with your meal, because it is a good source of fat, and you already need something fatty in your meal to make it a complete meal. So it would be better you take it with your meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for pitta people, you're suggesting always pre-soak
Yeah.
them. Never have them raw or
Yeah.
dry.
Because already so much
A lot of heat in
agni
the
is there.
system.
Yeah.
Moving on from this point where, you've given us this perfect thali sort of a thing where you can incorporate protein easily, even with vegetable or vegetarian sources. How would I know I have accomplished my protein? I've hit the target. Number two, how would I know if that protein is not suiting me? What are some, factors that will show up?
First thing is you have multiple meals in a day, right? So smaller quantity in every meal will make your complete need, whatever you're needing in a day. Suppose 50 grams of protein you need, you can divide it in multiple meals. So at the end of the day, you know कि आपने उतना खा लिया है तो उससे जा ही रहा है बॉडी में. दूसरी चीज, second factor is you'll feel in your body. Since, as I said earlier also, our body is building every day. Lots of cells shedding, lots of new cells are developing. So you'll feel that thing. Your quality of hair will be good because it is all protein. Your quality of nails, your skin texture will improve. Your digestion will improve. And you will feel energetic, more of your regrowing capacity. Like if there is a wound, it will grow better. If you are taking
So you'll
protein-rich
heal
diet.
faster from
Yeah, you'll
everything.
heal faster. And these are the major things which shows that this person is taking his protein.
Good amount of protein.
And also fat will get consumed and your muscle mass will increase. Overall fat will reduce and your muscle mass will increase. That is a good mass. Muscle
Okay.
mass increasing is good. But if your fat is increasing and that's why you are gaining weight, that is not good. So if you're taking protein, your muscle mass will increase, and that is a good point to note.
Does this happen automatically? Because I know that a lot of people spend a lot of money in gym to convert their fat into muscle mass.
Yeah.
And you're saying if you're having the right amount of protein, it'll happen on its own.
Yeah. Two things. First, obviously protein, because protein helps to build muscles.
Yeah.
So you are taking source. Second, obviously workout is important.
Okay.
And so, we are talking about protein. We have to take protein. Best way क्या है, कैसे लेना है. But along with protein, you need workout every day. At least walking should be there. I'm not saying that you need to go to gym, बहुत hardcore workout करना है. नहीं. आप basic
Activity.
walking,
Like there has to be
there
some
should be.
anaerobic
Yeah.
activity.
Activity
where-
होना ही है. More or less walking is the sufficient source. If you are doing daily walking post your meals or in the morning, that is very much required to build up your muscle and to lose your fat. And to answer your second part of the question, how would you know whether your protein is not enough or whether you are taking excess? How would you know? There are very clear signs, and immediately you will feel. Suppose you are taking more of protein, you don't require that much protein, and also your body will not accept that much protein. Your body is not capable to digest very much amount of protein. Protein is required in our body, but to an extent.
Okay.
ऐसा नहीं है कि आप ज़्यादा प्रोटीन लोगे तो ज़्यादा अच्छा मसल बिल्डअप होगा. ऐसा नहीं है. More protein will hamper with your digestion. So you'll feel, first thing is bloating. There will be bloating every day in your whole abdomen. There will be heaviness. There will be loss of appetite. You'll not feel hungry. There will be gaseous abdomen. Flatulence will be there. Constipation might be there. So these are the basic signs जो immediately आएंगे. You can see and you can judge whether you are taking right amount of protein, whether it suits you. So these are the points.
Okay. So you're saying that one has to assess their entire body type, their
Mhm.
digestive power, and then decide how much protein can their body take.
Yeah.
Yes, it might be recommended that you should take, 0.8 to 1 gram per day per weight, per 1 kg of
Per
their
1
weight.
kg of the body.
But that might not be suitable for everyone.
You have to take this much, but you don't have to start with that much.
Okay.
Suppose my body is not good. I'm a kapha type of person, and already there are lots of toxins in my body because of my diet habits, my lifestyle. So I don't have to start with 50 grams per day on the very first day. First, I have to detox my body. I can introduce protein in my diet slowly so that my body can accept this, along with other positive things like workout, good herbs, spices. Then I can achieve that target little by little. Immediately introducing large quantity of protein into your body is not the solution.
Okay, so you're saying take it slow,
Yeah.
understand your body, and better to detoxify yourself through,
First, yeah.
Ayurveda, and then move on to heavier doses of
Yeah.
protein if your body needs it. And also choose vegetable protein over animal.
Over animal protein.
All right, so now I have a few myths that I really want to ask you. More protein is equal to more muscle. Is that true?
No.
Why is that?
For muscle building, only protein is not sufficient. As I said earlier also, yes, protein is the basic requirement for muscle building, but you need to work out also. You need to digest and absorb that protein. Then only it will show in your muscles. Huh?
That is quite true because a lot of people have absorption issues these
Yeah.
days more than anything else. And not only protein absorption, they have absorption issues with iron, with
Right.
calcium, with anything. So gut is the main problem there. Fix your gut and then start with protein. Myth number 2, protein shakes are an absolute necessity.
No, not at all. I won't recommend protein shakes. The combination people make with milk and protein, that is not recommended as per Ayurveda.
So protein shakes is a no-no.
No.
Is there a way that I can mix my protein in water?
Yeah, you can mix with your water if you are taking in the form of powder. Some Ayurvedic powder combination are there, which is not a very good source of protein, but better version.
Better
you can
to
make.
digest.
Yeah, better to digest. You can mix with water also. You can mix with milk also. There are some combinations I'll tell you later on.
Okay.
But protein shakes are a no.
So protein shakes that have milk and protein mixed are an absolute no in Ayurveda. More protein means more energy.
No, not at all. What if your protein is not getting digested? So where will you get the energy?
You also mentioned that it can burden digestion and cause
Yeah.
more fatigue.
Yeah.
So I think this was quite a good clarification that yes, protein is necessary. Dal is not a source of protein if you're only looking for protein, but have a wholesome meal,
Right.
which is like a big Indian thali, which you already did, your ancestors did, but have more, whole grains like millets, which have a good amount of protein. Dal is another one small source of protein. And then you can add fiber and, minerals and sabzi and everything along with that. If you still feel your protein is not enough, then nuts and seeds you can have with
Yeah.
your meal
Yes.
if your Agni is good. So make sure that your digestive power is taken care of before you start on your protein journey. And you don't have to start with 50-60 grams per day. As Dr. Saloni mentioned, take it slow, take it easy, see how your body is reacting, see how your gut is reacting. If you are facing bloating, constipation, flatulence, then that protein is not suiting you. Protein and milk ka combination is an absolute no-no in Ayurveda. Don't mix milk with it. If you do want to have protein powder, mix it with water or mix it with some other drink if you want to. But milk and protein don't go together at all.
If you're taking from outside, like some nuts you can mix with milk
Okay.
if you're making it at home. But that market product, that protein powder, that is not good with milk. And also topic of debate, like people compare protein and they also compare calories. See,
Yes.
suppose I am on a journey of weight loss. I am obese or whatever. I want to build up muscles. I need to lose fat also. So I will be having calorie deficient diet. So if you are preferring a calorie deficient diet and you want to increase your protein, so you need to see what you are eating. For example, as you earlier mentioned, we are taking a bowl of lentil.
Yeah.
So it already have carbs and calories in it. And we need protein from that. So if it is boiled, it is not with lots of oils and any other thing, then this is good.
Then it's okay.
But if you are already adding lots of spices, unnecessary spices, unnecessary oils, butters, you're frying it. Some people eat fried chicken every day and they say this is a source of protein.
Yeah.
But you're already having lots of calories in that. So
there's no point.
No point of taking that much.
Yeah. So dal makhani will not do as a
Yeah.
protein source for those who
Yeah.
are thinking that it's lentils and it's a very good
Yeah.
source of protein. Even rajma, which is made with butter, will
Yeah.
not become a protein source because it has so much like a high amount of fat.
Boiled or simply boiled, you can take. That is the best form. If you
Okay.
boil it and you can add some green leafy vegetables and you can make a salad, sprinkle some nuts, sesame seeds you can sprinkle. That is the best thing. I think you can make a bowl of that. You can add chunks of paneer or tofu in that. That is the best source, small recipe you can make. Otherwise, yes, you can take, as you said, ragi chila or some other grain chila and dal, home
Yeah.
cooked vegetable. That is also a good source.
This is something that you need to clarify. Any protein source that I've ever taken is naturally heavy in nature. Is that true?
Yes, protein is in general a bit heavier to digest. It is somewhat heavier, more heavier than carb and fat.
And the lightest you said is moong dal,
Yeah.
boiled.
Dals, lentils, boiled form or legumes.
Because after having moong dal, one does not feel bloated
Yes.
or,
You'll
constipated.
never see
But
anyone.
whenever, even if I include millets,
Yes.
millets, even though they're healthy and a great source of protein,
Yes, they can also
but
cause
they
heaviness.
are
Yes.
quite heavy to digest.
Yes.
So one ragi chila or one, foxtail millet chila is quite a good amount of,
It is heavier for your
it is
digestion.
heavy.
That is
So
why
it's-
I said it should be a complete meal. There should be something easier to digest, something heavy, something fiber rich, so that it will help your gut. So that matters.
So I think this is a very good understanding of protein rather than it being a separate, concept out of your meal. Bring that protein in your meal. It is quite easy to incorporate it
Yes.
within your thali. Just need to change a few things here and there. And also add a lot of good spices if your digestion is not good.
Yes.
So if you're somebody who already suffers from constipation and you're having millets, then ghee is a must.
Ghee is a must, and also it is nice to consult a doctor, know your body type, consult a nearby Ayurvedic Vaidya. They'll let you know, at least they'll let you know about your body type. Accordingly, you can decide which is good for you, which is not.
So find a Vaidya and, contact Maharishi Ayurveda if you need help with that, and we will help you. Before we leave this podcast, just a few things that I need to know. If you can name 5, 6 good sources of protein in Ayurveda, what would those be?
First thing is, if we talk about dairy products, so paneer and tofu are good. Paneer is a good source. If it is made from low fat milk, if you are making paneer, that is good. Secondly, obviously millets, whole grains, those are good. Third, lentils, very good source. Fourth, we can talk about green leafy vegetables. That is also a good source of protein. And then comes nuts and seeds. These are the major categories. You don't have to take everything in single meal. You don't have to take each and everything in larger quantities. You can mix and match everything and you can take.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mix and match
Majorly
your
plant-based are these. Obviously, there comes a category of animal-based protein. But since we are not recommending that, so I won't mention those.
Okay. Any protein powder that you can recommend?
Not specifically protein powder, we will not call it protein powder, but yeah, we can make a healthy mix at home that a child can also take, an adult can also take, and an old age person can also take. And that have a good quantity of protein in that, but have other things also, which are necessary for your health. Like we require antioxidants also. People don't much talk about antioxidants, but that is also a major requirement of our body. So the recipe, what I would recommend is you can take roasted chana. You can make a powder of that, around 1 cup, and 1 cup makhana, foxnut. You can dry roast it and make powder. And along with that, you can take 1 cup of mixed seeds. You can add chia seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds. You can mix all these and make a powder around 1 cup. Also, you can add almonds, pistachio, walnut, anjeer also you can add if you want. You can mix that thing. And one major thing is dry roast these items.
Okay.
Because if you are already adding oil or ghee, then it will not, the shelf life will not be that good. Okay. So dry roast them, make powder and mix all these items. Plus you can add, if you need, like kids prefer something sweet, you can add mishri in that. Not any other thing. Some people can use dates powder also. This is available in the market, dates powder. Otherwise, what you can do, along with all these things, you can add a source of sugar also, because some people prefer sugar. You can add khand or mishri, as we call, that is a source. Otherwise, the best way is either you add dates in your milk already, or jaggery is also a good source. So you can add that thing in your milk, either dates or jaggery, and then add 1 spoon of this powder in this. That is a good source of energy, nutrients, antioxidants,
So a good
fat.
combination of
Yes,
everything.
yes.
Okay. I think this was a great recipe. Thank you so much, Dr. Saloni.
Right.
It's just that our ancestors unknowingly were incorporating a good amount of protein in their diet. It's because our families, our culture has moved on from millets to wheat, millets to rice. We are now actually lacking the amount of protein we really need. If you'd like to get more information on how to design your perfect protein bowl, call us on the number on the screen, and also you can comment in the section below. If you don't know what your body type is, there is a detailed video on Vata, Pitta and Kapha body types on how to define those. You can also go and watch that. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like our channel, subscribe to it. Like, comment and share this video for those who love protein. Thank you so much. Jai Gurudev.